So we'll take care of that right now while I'm thinking about it. And I don't remember if I uploaded Hail to the Chief here. Hold on just a moment. I'll take a few seconds to find it. And there's that. Okay, did I put it back in the system? It was Hail to the Chief Engineer, but that's not right. Huh. Okay. Try Chief. Well, apparently it's not in the system. Interesting. Let's try this search. After I redid my soundboard last week, I seem to have lost a few items. So it'll take just a moment. So I tell you what, while I'm looking for that, I will upload Hail to the Chief. I hope. I don't know why it's not showing up. The joys of computers, but I have no wish to serve under them. Although at the moment I seem to be serving under this one, and it's just a little netbook computer. Yeah, believe it or not, I am doing my entire podcast from a netbook computer. Amazing. Okay, intros and outros. And let's see here. Huh. Where's Hail to the Chief at? It's POTUS Weekly Address. Okay, well, while that's uploading, I'll tell you what. I'll go ahead. Oh, good grief. Alright, let's try this one more time. Okay, let's try one more time. Alright. Maybe I'll try searching for that. So, worst it'll do is override what I've already got. Let's see. Come on, computer. Okay. Because last week when I typed in Hail, it came right up. Well, it says it's loaded. Why am I not seeing it? Alright. I'm losing my mind here. Well, good grief. I already loaded it. I think I'm going to need something stronger than coffee. Okay, well, I got the intro. My apologies for my disorganization this morning. Good grief. I think I needed more sleep than what I got. I already loaded it and I'm looking right at it. Okay, well, without further delay, here's the President of the United States of America, Barack Obama.
Hi, everybody. This Tuesday is an important day for families, businesses, and our economy. It's the day a big part of the Affordable Care Act kicks in, and tens of millions of Americans will finally have the same chance to buy quality, affordable health care as everybody else. It's also the day that a group of far-right Republicans in Congress might choose to shut down the government and potentially damage the economy just because they don't like this law. I'll get to that in a second, but first, here's what the Affordable Care Act means for you. If you're one of the vast majority of Americans who already have health care, you already have new benefits you didn't before, like free mammograms and contraceptive care with no copay, and discounts on prescription medicine for seniors. You've already got new protections in place too, like no more lifetime limits on your care, no more discriminating against children with pre-existing conditions like asthma, or being able to stay on your parents' plan until you turn 26. That's all in place and available to Americans with health insurance right now. If you don't have health insurance, or if you buy it on the individual market, then starting this Tuesday, October 1st, you can visit healthcare.gov to find what's called the Health Insurance Marketplace in your state. This is a website where you can compare insurance plans side by side the same way you'd shop for a TV or a plane ticket. You'll see new choices and new competition. Many of you will see cheaper prices, and many of you will be eligible for tax credits that bring down your costs even more. Nearly 6 in 10 uninsured Americans will be able to get coverage for $100 or less. If you're one of the up to half of Americans with a pre-existing condition, these new plans mean your insurer can no longer charge you more than anybody else. They can't charge women more than men for the same coverage, and they take effect on January 1st. So get covered at healthcare.gov and spread the word. These marketplaces will be open for business on Tuesday no matter what. The Affordable Care Act is one of the most important things we've done as a country in decades to strengthen economic security for the middle class and all who strive to join the middle class. And it's going to work. That's also one of the reasons it's so disturbing that Republicans in Congress are threatening to shut down the government, or worse, if I don't agree to gut this law. Congress has two responsibilities right now: pass a budget on time and pay our bills on time. If Congress doesn't pass a budget by Monday, the end of the fiscal year, the government shuts down, along with many vital services the American people depend on. On Friday, the Senate passed a bill to keep the government open. But Republicans in the House have been more concerned with appeasing an extreme faction of their party than working to pass a budget that creates new jobs or strengthens the middle class. And in the next couple of days, these Republicans will have to decide whether to join the Senate and keep the government open, or create a crisis that will hurt people for the sole purpose of advancing their ideological agenda. Past government shutdowns have disrupted the economy. This shutdown would too. At a moment when our economy has steadily gained traction and our deficits have been falling faster than at any time in 60 years, a shutdown would be a purely self-inflicted wound. And that's why many Republican senators and Republican governors have urged Republicans in the House of Representatives to knock it off, pass a budget, and move on. This brings me to a second responsibility that Congress has. Once they vote to keep the government open, they also have to vote within the next couple of weeks to allow the Treasury to pay the bills for the money that Congress has already spent. Failure to meet this responsibility would be far more dangerous than a government shutdown. It would be an economic shutdown with impacts not just here but around the world. Unfortunately, some Republicans have suggested that unless I agree to an even longer list of demands, not just gutting the health care law, but things like cutting taxes for millionaires or rolling back rules on big banks and polluters, they'll push the button, throwing America into default for the first time in history, and risk throwing all of us back into recession. I will work with anyone who wants to have a serious conversation about our economic future. But I will not negotiate over Congress's responsibility to pay the bills it has already racked up. I don't know how to be more clear about this. No one gets to threaten the full faith and credit of the United States of America just to extract ideological concessions. No one gets to hurt our economy and millions of innocent people just because there are a couple of laws that you don't like. It hasn't been done in the past, and we're not going to start doing it now. The American people have worked too hard to recover from crises to see extremists in their Congress cause another one. And every day this goes on is another day that we can't continue the work of rebuilding the American middle class. Congress needs to pass a budget in time, pay its bills on time, and refocus on the everyday concerns of the people who sent them there. That's what I'm focused on. That's what I'll keep fighting for. Thanks so much.
President of the United States of America, everybody, Barack Obama, and his weekly radio address from this past Saturday. It's time now for news headlines.
Hello, Americans. This is Paul Harvey. Stand by for news.
And turning our attention to news headlines this morning, as the government shutdown looms for tomorrow, Democrats and Republicans are still both blaming each other. Neither the House nor the Senate was in session yesterday, but both sides bickered on how the U.S. should pay its bills. Republicans say President Obama and the Democrats won't compromise. The Democrats are saying the Republicans are making unreasonable demands. With no immediate sign of compromise, a government shutdown is likely imminent. Syria's President Bashar al-Assad said in an interview with an Italian news source that his government will comply with last week's United Nations resolution. The resolution calls for Syria's chemical weapons to be dismantled and destroyed. This resolution came in light of evidence that the Syrian government used chemical weapons against its own citizens, which Assad continues to deny. And Breaking Bad fans say boo-bye. Fans of the popular TV show Breaking Bad eagerly awaited the conclusion to their favorite show, taking to social media for countdowns and to discuss the outcome after it aired. The show's finale aired last night at 9 o'clock on AMC. This is probably the most popular series finale since The Sopranos ended with... Now, with each season, the show increased ratings and viewership and took home an Emmy this past year for Outstanding Drama Series. Some critics call even it the best TV series of all time. And that's a look at news headlines for today. And as much praise as Breaking Bad has received, I am sorry, I have never seen an episode of that show yet. But I hope it's still on Netflix because I want to check it out. Calling it the best TV show in history, that's a lot of bragging right there. Personally, my favorite, I think Star Trek is the best TV show ever made. But that's my opinion, okay? But what does my opinion mean anyway? Not a whole lot these days. I'm the guy that can't even find what's already in front of him. Still can't believe I had Hail to the Chief right there in the buffer, right on the screen even. I looked at it, and I wasn't even looking at the time on it. And that should have been a tip-off. But, oh well, just another one of those cases of bloopers on a podcast. See, I don't hide a lot of my bloopers, okay? I let it all hang out, as it were. Let's take a look at that nationwide weather forecast. And before we get to the weather forecast, wish to remind you that you can read the nationwide weather forecast 24/7. Slow down, Joe. Make the words count. You can take a look at the nationwide weather forecast 24/7 by going to our website. Click on the weather link, and it'll take you directly to the Weather Channel website, weather.com, for the latest national weather forecast. And here it is for this Monday.
Winter weather warning right now. Here's a live look at the Fox 6 snow stick. This is out on the weather dick.
And take a look at the weather forecast for this Monday. And starting off in the northeast, or check that, starting off in the west today. A strong disturbance pushes inland, taking the strongest winds and steadiest rain with it. Rains will continue in western Washington and northwest Oregon, with an additional 1.5 to 2 inches of rain possible through tomorrow. Colder air moving in behind the storm lowers snow levels to near 4,500 feet in western Washington state and 5,500 feet in western Oregon. Snowfall of 1 to 2 feet is possible in the highest mountains of western Washington and up to a foot in the western Oregon mountains through tomorrow. Sunny and much calmer conditions are expected across the southwest. High temperatures will be mostly in the 50s and 60s across the northwest. Across the southwest, highs range from the 60s and 70s along the coast to the 90s in the desert region. In the south, most of the region will be sunny to partly cloudy and mild today. The exceptions will be along the Gulf Coast, the lower Mississippi Valley, and Florida, where scattered showers and thunderstorms are likely. Locally heavy downpours, producing 1 to 2 inches of additional rainfall in eastern Texas, Louisiana, and southern Mississippi is in the forecast for today. Highs will be in the 70s and 80s, with a few spotty 90s in the southern part of Texas. In the northeast, high pressure keeps most of the region dry. A dying cold front may spark a few widely scattered showers in far western New York, western Pennsylvania, and West Virginia today. High temperatures reach the 70s,